Coming up on Dig It.
The lodger said to me, is that not an insult that someone goes to a fancy dress party dressed as you and Joe? And I was like, absolutely not.
Hey guys, do you think you could just calm it down a little bit? And then the next morning, Coco was like, I can't believe you shouted at my friends.
Yes, fine, I haven't turned the music down. Yes, and then you just get to that point of... all of that right after this. This episode of Dig It is sponsored by EE.
Christmas might feel miles away, but you know those group chats are already starting. Who's hosting? Who's bringing their own nut roast? Who's sleeping on the sofa bed?
I've no idea what I'm doing yet. Might be skiing with friends, might be at home. Either way, I'm sure I'll be video calling someone with a mulled wine in hand.
I'm the same. We might be joining my father-in-law in Thailand for New Year's, but I will still need proper broadband for our traditional Christmas Day FaceTime while the turkey's resting.
But that's the thing. We spend ages planning the food, the travel and the gifts. But the first decision to settle is who's hosting and who's guesting.
Exactly. Whether you're hosting or guesting, get ahead of the festive chaos before it lands.
Make sure your broadband and mobile are sorted with EE. They have the best broadband technology that gives you super fast speeds and rock solid reliability, even when half the family is streaming Christmas films all at once.
And EE has the best mobile network that keeps you connected wherever you are. Perfect for when you're on the road or video calling loved ones from halfway up a mountain.
Get the best connectivity for your home and your phone with EE.
For more information, just search EE Does More.
Hey Joe, remember the 5th of November, gunpowder treason and plots. I see no reason why gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. Is that right? If I remember that right?
You know so much more than I do. Very good. Bravo.
Thanks. Oh, how are you, darling? How was Disco Steve's incredible firework display?
It was incredible. It was amazing. And the way it works is that we tell all our neighbours and all our friends who are coming to the party to bring either a rocket, a bit of food for the table, or a bottle, or all three if they want to. They can bring whatever.
Excellent.
But it gets ridiculously competitive. Amongst the men, I'll be honest with you. I don't
Obviously,
want
it's
to be
always
sexist,
amongst the
but
boys.
It just seems to be this way. So they all turn up with their massive rockets trying to outdo each other. And that means that we have an amazing firework display. And it was the best ever this year. It was so good.
What is it with boys and fireworks? It's such a funny thing. I have always been really happy not to be involved in the lighting of fireworks, because I think since I was really young, I've always been a little bit scared of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But having said which, you are then spoilt to a proper wow display. And some of the rockets you can get now are just bombastic, aren't they?
It was so impressive. What people do these days are bring along boxes. So you just have your box and you light it, and then you just get this, full blown firework display. I think the Punisher was the finale of our bonfire party, and that was brought by Ollie, and Ollie's dad Tim was always Disco Steve's co-pilot when it came to doing the bonfires and the fireworks. So Ollie is very much carrying on his dad's legacy, and we miss Tim so badly when it gets to bonfire night, but Ollie is there, and he stole the show this year. It's always one of my favourite parties because there's a focal point. So as we've talked about before, when you have parties, there's a lot of social anxiety, people get nervous about coming along, and there are always dropouts. And I know now, since we've started doing the podcast, I understand better those messages that I get like an hour before the party of people just going, I can't make it tonight. And now I know that it's because they just can't face it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But the bonfire and the fireworks just gives people something to focus on and to chat about. And the minuscule of sound was going until 6:30 in the morning, apparently.
Oh, that sounds like a record, because of course it would still be dark, wouldn't it? So you just keep going. I remember my friend Nick always used to bring the best rocket at my friend Helen's celebration of her birthday, and I was convinced it was called the Embalmer, this rocket, but maybe it was called the Punisher. But he'd bring 5, and they probably would cost him a small fortune. Yeah. And they were insanely impressive.
We had this amazing bonfire, which India's boyfriend Alex and India built over the course of the week. And we had pallets, and it was lovely. And we made sure that there were no small creatures in there. We were very, very careful about that. And it was an amazing bonfire. And then the next day, because they are such, I don't know how to describe them, but they are amazing cooks, and they're really into food. And so they took up a pumpkin, and they took up a cauliflower, flour and some sweet potatoes. They wrapped them in foil and they laid them on the embers of the bonfire. And then throughout the day they cooked. And then we ate them on Sunday evening. We had a big feast. I mean, it's not part of my world, but I enjoyed eating the food. I didn't know you could do that.
What a great idea.
Yeah.
So you leave them overnight, and as the embers are dying, it's roasting your pumpkins. This is the problem, isn't it? Because after Halloween, you're left with all these pumpkin innards and you don't know what to do with them. I saw a really lovely thing where especially the ones you've already carved, because often mine didn't get carved. I was going to do Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street, which I think frankly would have been above my capabilities creatively, but next year I'm going to try it. I even bought the olives for their eyes, and I bought this sort of funny stuff to do with their hair. I never know which one's Bert and which one's Ernie, but anyway. But so I've got a load of pumpkins that weren't carved, but if you've carved them, I've noticed a lot of people, you just cut the top bit off and then fill the lower bit, or just leave it whole, with loads of bird seed and put out in the garden. And the birds, obviously at this time of year, you know, the weather's getting colder, they're really looking for food, and then they'll eat a bit of the pumpkin and the seeds around it. So there you go, if you're wondering what to do with them before they rot, you know, because they can get quite smelly, can't they, after a while?
Oh, stinky, yeah. That's a good tip.
I know.
Never heard of that before. I'm going to do that, yeah.
Woody came over, not actually on Halloween, but he was laughing at the amount of pumpkins I had. And the fact is that on Halloween night, I was on my own at home, and he was a bit like, Mum, you've got so many sweets. I was like, I know. And last time we were living in the middle of the countryside, no one came, and I would always have sweets, and no one ever came. Anyway, Woody, you don't need to laugh at me anymore, because on Halloween I was a very popular house. I had tiny vampires, I had a miniature Claudia Winkleman, I had little baby pumpkins, giant pumpkins, a lot of very tiny Mike Wazowskis from Monsters Inc. They were some really scary masks, actually, terrifying teenagers. And I ran out. I had to rummage through Nell's room for some sweets that I need to replace, actually. I gave away my favourite Halloween biscuits, but it was a huge success, and I cannot tell you how much pleasure it brought me to see all the kids in their little outfits. I was so chuffed. So next year, Joe, remind me, I'm going to go big. I'm going to do decorations in the window and everything. And because I ran out of treats, I'd had these amazing light up googly eyes that once I was sort of dry, I was thinking, I can't hand out apples, you know. Or,
oh God, no, don't be that person.
You know, they're just going to be like, going to egg your door. So I took the googly eyes in and I turned the lights off so that I wasn't false advertising. But can I say, kids, thank you so much. You made an old lady very happy.
So you weren't alone?
I wasn't alone. It was really lovely.
Don't forget, if Dig It makes your week a bit brighter, hit subscribe on YouTube or hit follow on Apple or Spotify. And that way, brand new episodes will be ready and waiting for you as soon as they're out.
Also, on the subject of Halloween, David, who pops by and gives me a blowy sometimes, be careful what I say, he does my barnet. He was at a Halloween party on Saturday night where he met a Zoe Ball and a Joe Wiley. And I have a picture of David. There's Joe Wiley. Look, we're Halloween.
Oh my God, we're Halloween creatures now.
We are. I don't think she looks massively unlike you. And that's my lovely friend David.
We've got similar eyes. Yeah, kind of like almond eyes.
And it's funny because the lodger said to me, is that not an insult that someone goes to a fancy dress party dressed as you and Joe? And I was like, absolutely not. I think it's like a massive, massive compliment.
You didn't get dressed up this year. There was no dressing up at all.
I didn't get dressed up. You make a very cute witch. Look at you in your hat. You look fantastic.
Obviously, as an ex-goth, all I did was go into my wardrobe, put on all my black clothes, my black lacy tights and some black boots. But then got Maisie to get me a hat. And she got such a cool hat. I really enjoyed that.
That is a great hat.
Yeah. And there's a disco ball in our hallway, which was sending out all kinds of beautiful shapes and, making it look gorgeous.
What a fantastic night. So hang on. Minuscule of Sound was going till 6:30 in the morning. What time did you get to bed?
I went to bed at 2:00. So I was, I think Disco actually went to bed before me this time because he did.
Wow.
We played Bird on a Perch, which is this stupid game that where you are either a bird or a perch, and we do it every time we have a party. But this year I actually took part in the game, and I was with my friend Andrew, who's the vet, and we were a pair. I was the bird, he was the perch. So
hang on a minute.
Have I not explained this before?
What happens? You are the bird or a perch? This is bonkers.
Okay, so it's like, you know, when you're doing, here we go around the mulberry bush and you hold hands and you just go around a circle. So you have a circle of people like that. On the outside, they are the perches. And then you have a circle of people on the inside and they are the birds. And you have partners. So you choose your partner and then you go round in alternate circles or, you know, the other way round. So Disco Steve's playing the music. We had lovely little Ava who was choosing who was out. And when the music stops, it's like
the bird sits on the perch.
The bird sits on the perch, yeah.
Okay.
And so you have to find your perch, and it's carnage. It's carnage. There was all kinds of injuries because it was in my freshly painted kitchen as well. You can imagine the heart attack I was having. But it was brutal. There were like, you know, nearly broken noses. There were cuts. There were aches and pains the next day, I can tell you. But it's a good game. It's a really fun game.
That sounds like a great game. Obviously, because everyone's had a couple of shandies by this point and everyone gets highly competitive. So people get more boisterous.
Yeah.
Kind of throwing themselves at the perch. The birds are no longer like little creatures.
Yeah, no, just knocking people out of the way. I definitely thought I am the oldest one in this game and I'm too fragile to be doing this now because you've got like 19-year-old, 17-year-old girls and boys and then 25-year-old girls and boys just desperate to get to their bird or their perch and just will take no prisoners.
Do you know what? You guys, the Wiley Mortons come up with the best games.
I don't know where that came from. I really don't.
I'll try that at Christmas.
Oh, but do it outside as well. It's much better played outside because then you have more space and you don't worry about knocking things over.
Yeah.
But if people have got other party games, I'd love to know if there's something like Bird on Perch that you do, then let us know because then we can play that at our next party.
We had great success throwing the toilet brush challenge. We did that for a couple of years.
Remind me of this.
Yeah. And you have to buy a new toilet brush. Obviously, you don't want to be lobbing a dirty toilet brush. But that became very competitive in our family. And I'd bought these toilet brushes that their holders were ducks. And I've got loads of listeners doing it one year and people got so good at it. It's really hard. But obviously you need to do new toilet brushes and you have to stand behind a line and you have to throw the brush into the holder and it's much harder than you think.
You can actually land it.
Yeah, you can land it. It gets so tense that when someone lands it, it's like everyone goes absolutely crazy. Woody always says to me, he's like, I love parties with your gang, Mum. And I was like, I love parties with your gang because we're the old school and we were crazy ravers and none of us can really take the pace anymore. But occasionally, in fact, in a couple of weekends time, it's my birthday and my mate Snowy's birthday. We're sort of joint together and we always get together with all our kids and we've started planning that now and I'm really looking forward to it because it usually kicks right off. There's I think there's about 35 of us in total and we've got various plans. There's plans to go and have saunas on the beach, swim in the sea. I don't know if I'll be doing that, Joe. And then we're going to my friend's pub for a big meal and then we're all coming back here for a party.
That sounds lovely.
I reckon we could get Bird and a Perch in the lounge if I just clear the sofas and move some of the crockery.
Yeah, clear all the breakables. My house afterwards, the Monday morning after the party, it's like Glastonbury when everybody has left. So there are bottles and cans of Smirnoff and there are costumes and there are body parts and all kinds of things. And I don't know if anyone listening to this or watching, that feeling, you look around and you're like, okay, they've all gone back to work and they've gone back to school. And it is just me that's going to be doing this and doing all the clearing up and the tidying up. And
you're finding bits, people, cans.
I did lose it at one point. I was in bed and everyone's obviously having a really great time running around and all of Coco's friends were here and they come in the room where we do the podcast. So this is the one that has the most devastation. But it's that traditionally, this has always been their room. And then I realised that, oh my God, the camera and the equipment, everything is in there. So I had to kind of pack it all away. Anyway, it was about 4:20 in the morning and there were voices and I kept thinking, be the cool mum, let them make a noise, it's absolutely fine. And they got to 4:25 and I was like, I'm done. So I had to get my clothes on and I came downstairs and all the time I'm thinking, channel cool mum, do not shout, do not raise your voice. So I said in the calmest, nicest voice I could possibly say, I was like, hey guys, do you think you could just like calm it down a little bit? And then the next morning, Coco was like, I can't believe you shouted at my friends. And I was going, I wasn't. I swear I was trying so hard not to shout. That was me being really nice. But still, she went, they're all just really scared of you now.
It's that thing, isn't it? You think, because we love our kids having a good time. And I'm always like that. I'm like, yeah, fine. Yeah, fine, they're crashing all the doors. Yes, fine, they haven't turned the music down. Yes, and then you just get to that point of, like that. It's like that bit in With No Lie
Yeah.
when he goes, get in the back of the van. It's sort of like that. I'm so sorry that I had to do that, but it's like, oh, my patience. And I'm not good if I don't sleep. For someone who used to, you know, live for the party and stay up for 4 days on end, I now I need my sleep, and I'm all fine until a certain point, especially when they're their age. So like, they kind of have got to go to school on Monday. They do need to keep it down. See, while you were having that lovely party, I escaped to the country on Saturday. I went and stayed in this amazing place. I don't know if you've got a place that you escape to. I think it's always really lovely to have just somewhere that's quite near. I just schlep across the top of the Downs to a place called Maidhurst, which is above Arundel. And they've got the Pig Hotel there. And my favourite place to stay there is they have these beautiful, they're effectively shepherd's huts, like wagons. And they're it's the dream, Joe. They're in a walled garden where they grow all the produce that you can then eat in the amazing restaurant. And it's just heaven. And I was so lucky because it was a clear night. Then this crazy rain came. Then there was lightning, but then it was a clear morning. So you are sort of sleeping under the stars because there's no light pollution up there. It's just the middle of nowhere. It's beautiful. And had this amazing meal, and everything you're eating, you know, half the stuff's been grown in the garden. And then in the morning, I did a little tour of all the brassicas and the onions and the carrots. And it's just, you've never said the cabbages. Oh God, they're just huge and heavenly. It is the dream, a walled garden. I mean, it's a little bit like you've got a tiny little walled garden, haven't you?
Yeah,
you've got your little mini one. But it's the dream. Have you still got produce growing now?
Yeah, I have actually. So the beetroot is still in the ground. Some of the potatoes are, but then also the kale. And yeah, there's a couple of things. Cabbages, possibly. I don't know. I haven't been out in the garden. I haven't been into that area of the garden for quite a long time, but I did walk through it the other day and I was like, oh God, I really need to harvest some of this and cook some of this. Yeah. Oh, so you had quality time, like with the lodger, I presume, and you went away and you just had a really lovely escape.
Yeah. Dragged the lodger away from his desk.
It's important though, right?
Yes. It was really heavenly. And it's funny how just like a little mini break like that, I just came back, I felt really, really refreshed and ready for the week ahead. And also I'm really excited because I made 2 new discoveries this week.
Go on.
One being Uniqlo. Oh my God, have you been to Uniqlo?
No, I haven't.
I had to get a very brilliant young person to tell me about the sizing system, but they have got, like J.W. Anderson did a collection for them, and a couple of people have said to me, if you want jeans and and jumpers and stuff, they're really good prices and they're really good shapes, and they're quite, I mean, I don't know, everyone's probably been shopping there for ages. But I went to the one in Manchester and it was fantastic. And I got loads of jeans. I got this jumper and really good prices. So I'm probably late to the game. So I just wanted to tell you about that because we like to share when we find new discoveries.
I think they do good jackets, don't they? In the past, I bought jackets like
really
those.
Good jackets.
Yeah, the padded jackets that are very light and warm.
And amazing thermals, really lovely thermals, lovely fitted tops. And you just need someone to explain the sizes to you. And then the other discovery that I've made this week, with my aging skin, I sigh and cry over my constant battle to find foundations.
Yes.
Because I find so many of them just dry up in my face and get dusty and crusty.
Crepey.
And they just, crepey. Anyway, I have discovered this week, it was advertised online, the fabulous Victoria Beckham. I love that girl. She does make amazing makeup. Has teamed up with Augustinius Bader. I may be saying his name wrong because I just always call him August Bader. And he makes the fantastic moisturizers, like the rich cream and stuff. She's teamed up with him. So she's made this moisturizer. And I swear, I don't know, it might just be me, but it is so brilliant. It's really light. I'm not being paid. I paid for this, by the way, with my own money. But it's got some of the cream in it. And it's really quite light. It doesn't feel like you're wearing loads. And I had a picture taken on Saturday night and I thought, oh my God, I look alive. My skin looks dewy. So I'm just saying, girls, anyone who struggles with finding good foundations, I think it's pretty brilliant.
So it's a foundation, not a moisturiser.
It's a foundation, but it's got the moisturiser in it. And it just doesn't look too heavy on your face. It lasts all day, looks quite light, it's quite reflective. And then over the top of that, I use the old Jones Road balms for a bit of colour. It seems to be working. So I just had to share these things.
This is good.
Because I get through a lot of these things, trying different products out. And it costs you a fortune sometimes.
Oh, it does, yeah. Yeah, no, you do want to know what works. Next, we'll take a quick break for some ads.
If you like these episodes ad-free, then why not become a member of the Potting Shed?
You'll get longer episodes, bonus content, and most importantly, you'll be supporting the show.
For details on how to join, check out the show notes. This episode of Dig It is sponsored by QVC.
Zoe, do you ever feel like this time of year just flies by?
Oh, absolutely. 1 minute it's bonfire night. The next minute you're frantically wrapping presents at midnight. There is so much to do for everyone else that you forget to stop for even 5 minutes.
Exactly. That's why Menopause Your Way at QVC is such a game changer. It's not just shopping, it's about reclaiming a bit of time for yourself and finding small ways to feel more like you again.
I ended up finding my new favourite Aveda shampoo there. It's rosemary and mint. The scent alone feels like self-care. And Liz Earle's Super Skin range. My skin just drinks it in.
And what's great is that QVC make it simple. Their shop by symptom tool helps you navigate the noise, whether you're struggling with sleep, mood, or dry skin. They've got expert advice on confidence, relationships, even relaxation techniques.
Plus, everything comes with QVC's extended money back guarantee, which means you've got until the 31st of January to decide if it's right for you.
To explore more, search menopause at qvcuk.com and don't forget to use the code QDIG10 for £10 off your first purchase over £30.
That's QDIG10, QDIG10 for £10 off your first order over £30. For full terms, visit the QVC website.
Whether it's gifts for you or your friends, carve out a little time for yourself this Christmas with QVC. We've got an expert now who's going to be here to help us because we've got a dog and 2 cats now. And when it comes to bonfire night, obviously it's really important to look after your pets and make sure that they're safe. And ours have never been bothered. They've been absolutely fine. I know a lot of people have dogs and cats who get very distressed by fireworks, but ours just seem to love the company and the lights and they're okay. But we've got Johnny Hinks, aka Garden with Johnny, and he's on hand with some bonfire night safety tips. So let's hear from Johnny.
Because he's also a fireman, isn't he? It's brilliant.
Hi Joe, hi Zoe. Johnny Hinks here. I think last time you saw me, I was in the garden. I was probably wearing short shorts as well. But this is my other gig. I am a firefighter. So let's talk about staying safe this bonfire night. So first up, bonfires. Keep them well away from sheds, fences and trees, at least 5 meters. Also, never use petrol or accelerants. You'll go from Guy Fawkes to Gone Wrong Fawkes in seconds. Always have a bucket of water or a hose pipe close by, just in case. When it's over, make sure you douse it with lots of water. If it's still steaming, it's still potentially dangerous. And now fireworks. Always buy them from a reputable seller and follow the instructions. Light them at arm's length and never go back to a lit firework, even if it looks like it's fizzled out. Pets. Fireworks can be absolutely terrifying for them. Keep them indoors with the curtains closed and the TV or a radio on to muffle out the noise. So whether you're in your garden with some sparklers or at a display, stay safe. Look after your furry friends and make sure you have an amazing bonfire night.
Oh, I love Johnny. I love Garden with Johnny. You know, this is a man who's massively into his garden and is also a firefighter. I mean, he couldn't. Firefighters are some of my favourite people. You know, whenever I still wave at fire engines whenever I see them. If I see firefighters out and about, I'm always like, woo, they are such incredible humans who keep us safe and their job is so dangerous.
Yeah.
And sorry, Garden with Johnny, how'd you get those guns? They're insane. His muscles are like... It's sort of, he's sort of like a superhero, a Marvel hero or something.
It's like Mr. Incredible. He reminds me of Mr. Incredible. That's what he's got, similar kind of hair colour and the physique.
Oh.
So he's a superhero, gardening superhero / fireman.
He's like the perfect man.
Yeah, thank you, Johnny.
We love Garden with Johnny, and we also love Adam Kirtland, who is also known as View from the Potting Bench, and he's here to give us some tips for the wet and frosty winter months.
Well, hello there, Joe and Zoe. And just because Joe said she liked my voice last time, I'm going to do this one for you in an extra sultry way. What am I doing? What is my life? Things have really cooled down in the garden this week. And yes, I'm out here in a gilet, but some of your plants will still need some extra TLC. Tender, loving care. Now, being serious for a moment, there are some plants that will need your extra help over winter, and when frost hits, you do run the risk of losing them, but I'm going to show you exactly how to protect them.
It's almost impossible to go through all the plants that need protecting, but I'll put a list of them in the comments for you.
You may have some of these plants in pots, and there are two things that you can do right now to protect them from the cold and wet.
Let's start off by making sure your plants aren't too wet.
Pots like this one have drainage holes in the bottom, but in autumn and winter when it's exceptionally wet, sometimes it doesn't drain away properly, so we need to lift that pot up.
You can buy expensive specialist terracotta pot feet, or you can just use some large stones.
It really is just a case of lifting your pot up, putting those stones underneath, and that lets the water drain away freely. So how about the frost then? There are plants that need that extra bit of care over winter, and I haven't got many of them in my garden, purely because life is dramatic enough, but I've got one that does need that extra care, and I'm going to show you how I do it. Now this here behind me is a begonia, and chances are I could lose it to the frosts, but I'm going to show you the simple method that I use to protect it and keep it snug and warm. This might look like the remnants of a Halloween costume, but it's actually something called horticultural fleece, and you wrap it around your plant to protect it from the harshest of frosts.
It's as simple as wrapping it around a plant when a frost is forecast and pegging it in place.
This stuff really isn't that expensive. It was about £1.50 for this 2 metre piece from the garden centre, but you could easily use an old blanket or even bubble wrap. And there you have it, 2 super simple ways to protect your pots and plants from cold and wet this winter. If you've got any other questions about gardening in winter, pop them in the comments and I will answer them for you. And Joe, I hope you enjoyed the extra effort that I put into my voice just for this video. They don't call me the Barry White of gardening for nothing. Oh...
Oh, Adam, you are the best.
Oh, God, I appreciated that, Adam. Look, now I'm talking in a deeper voice just to try and match you. The Barry White of radio.
Just to try and match him. That's so...
God,
he's
brilliant.
Wonderful, isn't he? He's wonderful. Adam, thank you for always teaching us stuff and really making us laugh as well.
Yeah.
As you're standing there, a man in a garden in a gilet. He's got amazing tattoos as well. Also, during that, you were visited by Nemo, who has gone down an absolute treat. Everyone is loving Nemo, the kitten.
He's our little
dig-it
kitten.
Oh, he's yawning. Oh, he's too gorgeous. I think I'd seen a couple of comments from people saying, yeah, his fluffy ears, he is a Maine Coon.
Yeah, I think there's definitely elements of Maine Coon, which he's showing right now. He's sitting on a little table by the side of us. We've got our little dolls of you and me. But he's grown already. It's unbelievable how much he's grown. And quite a few people were saying, oh, you've got a ginger cat, and they watch out because they are characters. And that's what we're discovering with him. He's so fun and sociable and just lively. I mean, he's a kitten, so kittens are lively, but honestly, he doesn't mind anyone handling him. We're having challenges at the moment introducing him to Django the dog and also Kiki, our cat, who's a rag doll. They're a little bit
wary,
a little bit put out, a little bit kind of like, what the hell have you brought in and how long is it going to stay for?
When is he leaving?
Yeah, exactly. Django's terrified of him. Django's like a massive golden retriever, and he won't even come in the room if the kitten's in there. He's just like, whoa, take it away.
How funny.
Kiki, is the older cat, is being very disdainful.
Well, you can understand that. I know. My family were all disappointed that Nemo's not living here. I was like, no, he lives at Joe's house, because they were all like, oh, we're coming over, we want to meet Nemo. I was like, no, Nemo's at Joe's house, but he's very gorgeous, but it has started the conversation amongst us about whether Wilbur would like a friend or not. So yeah, I'll blame you if we've got, I know, it's quite exciting. Crate digging.
Yes.
My crate digging this week is Brandy Carlisle, because last week we were so busy talking about Lily Allen, and I've really loved being on trains this week and hearing everybody everywhere discussing Lily's album, and I think it's gone down an absolute treat. And I couldn't help but notice on Halloween that she was dressed up as the book character Madeline. which was absolutely brilliant. And Amelia from Chicken Shop was dressed up as Lily Allen's divorce, I think. I think she was in an outfit dressed as David Harbour in Stranger Things and holding a phone with Lily Allen on it. And so I think...
So much fun to be had with that, yeah.
So much fun to be had. I think it's the gift that keeps on giving. But also out last week was another of our favourite, Brandi Carlile. I love this girl so much. I think she writes the most beautiful... heartfelt music, and this is her first solo album in quite a while, because she was busy doing a project with Elton and she was doing the Joni Jams, and she's just been producing other artists as well. This is called Returning to Myself, and she wrote a lot about the fact that she, you know, after everything that's been going on in her life and having kids and being so busy, she had to do that thing of going off on her own and working on her album on her own. And it is absolutely beautiful. A couple of tracks on here in particular that I love. Church and State is an absolute banger. A Long Goodbye will break your heart. There's an amazing song on here called You Without Me, which is about watching your kids growing up and suddenly seeing how they're going to be, you know, without you, that they are their own characters, and you know they need you always, but they're going to be great on their own as well. And it, as a parent, it really breaks your heart. And A Woman Overseas as well, which I think she's written about her fabulous wife Catherine. This is an absolute beauty. I love this girl, and she's doing loads of dates next year. I'm trying to talk my friend into going to New York to watch her in Madison Square Gardens. She is playing in London. She's playing or Paris. You know, sometimes it's really fun to go to a gig somewhere else and make a little weekend out of it. So Brandi Carlile's new album, that's my crate digging.
I'll be honest, I've been mega busy this week with all kinds of things, and I was desperate to get to a record shop, but it just didn't happen. So I was looking for Tame Impala's album, which I think you managed to get on my behalf.
I've got your copy. Here is your copy.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that.
I'll put it in the post.
Yes. Dracula, obviously very topical release. That's been the current single as well. And it's just in time for Halloween. But Kevin Parker is something of a demigod in this house. Cass absolutely worships him.
Yeah.
They headlined at Glastonbury a couple of years back now. They're coming to do some dates next year, and they're just really great. I just love the world that they inhabit. So this album has been something I've been very excited about. I don't know it terribly well, so I can't select tracks. It's just one of those records I am going to turn my attention to and listen to, but I really rate them. And I also wanted to mention, in terms of stuff I've been playing on my show, a new artist. There's a girl called Sienna Spiro who is amazing. I mean, she's only young. She's only about 20, I think, but has an incredible voice, like really dramatic. She's got a beautiful song out at the moment, and it's like a torch song. It's very, very bombastic, inspired by Queen, and she's just one to look out for. So if I'm going to drop names for you to be aware of, to look for next year, Sienna Spiro is one of those people. And also Mumford & Sons have just announced that they are going to have an album out next year, and I had the pleasure of being sent a copy, so I've listened to that already, and it's really good. It's really, really good.
Marcus Mumford's really good friends with Brandi Carlile, isn't he? And
exactly, full circle. Yeah, she's on the new album.
I think she sent him a text or wrote him some lyrics, which are on the song that is it the song he's done with Hosier that you played on your show? And I was like,
Rubber Band Man.
There you go.
Yeah, no, she's on the album.
And she's on the album as well. You lucky thing, you see, you get to hear things early.
I think I got to hear it because Marcus was really, really excited about it and just was like, oh my God, what do you think? What do you think? And it is really good. And yeah, they've just done this track with Hosier, but very, very much looking forward to being able to play that some more. If people are fans, then you've got a real treat in store. So Sienna Spiro, Tame Impala, Mumford & Sons, but that's a little way in the distance for now. I'm just being eaten and attacked by a kitten at the moment. It's fallen off the chair. It's gone now.
Oh no. They don't hurt themselves when they're like that though, do they?
No, they
just
don't.
bounce. They just bounce. If you ever want any more information about things we talk about on the pod, be it our crate digging choices, clothes we wear, makeup we might recommend, any brands and stuff like that, just check out our Substack letter, which drops every Friday. And you can find how to get that by checking out the show notes.
Yeah, there are lots of pictures there. It's really kind of obvious, all the stuff that we talk about. So if you ever have any questions, it's there for you to enjoy. It's great. It's really good.
I love it.
And don't forget, on Monday, it's one I think a lot of people are going to be really, really interested in and probably have lots of their questions answered. We have Dr. Naomi Potter joining us to talk about menopause, anything menopause related. So covering all different aspects of it. And that'll be Monday's Dig In.
All right, darling, have a good week. And I'll speak to you soon.
Hey, do you know what? I'm coming your way. I'm coming to Brighton for the weekend.
Are you playing?
No, I'm not. No. And I'm not even doing a gig. I'm coming to Brighton to play. I'm staying with some friends and we're going to have a really nice time and we're going to try and go in the sauna and the sea lanes and all that sort of stuff. So maybe tell me that pub that you go to that your friend owns and
yes,
and I'll try and eat there.
Have fun.
Take care.
Love you lots. Bye.
Lots of love.
Dig It is a Persophonica production.